Hello, my name is Andreas Johansson. I play in Gates of Ishtar.
Hey, this is Thomas from Gates of Ishtar.
Hello, this is Michael, lead vocalist of Gates of Ishtar, and you're listening to What's Metal?
That's right. What's Metal? It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show because you're a band that doesn't play at every corner. It's actually fairly rare that you've ever played live. I'm not sure, actually. We'll touch on that in a while. So probably only the very, very, very early listeners of our show remember that we played your stuff in the early days. But all the younglings probably wouldn't know. Yeah. So can you give us a quick wrap up of who you are?
Yeah, we have recorded 3 albums back in the 90s, but then we put out a longer hiatus where we didn't do anything with the band, and it went on for many, many years. And then one day a friend of ours asked us if, hey, do you want to do a reunion show at House of Metal in Umeå? And yeah, it felt like the time was right for us to go back again. And when we started again playing together, it was like nothing has happened for 30 years, you know. Everything was like clicked in and everybody knew what to do. So yeah, we had a really good time, and that's why we're here today, because we want to do it more. So
yeah, okay, but I mean, it's still a bit surprising thinking back, since when you release your albums, you were at the right place at the right time, right style of music. There was a lot of interest in that in the underground. You released the albums, but then not much more happened. Yeah, I guess there are many dimensions to why that was the case. Can you go into detail on that?
Yeah, well, for one, I moved from Luleå, where we all lived together, down to Stockholm, and started my career there, and met a girl, and we had kids, and life gets in the way, or depending on how you see it. But and they continued up there with their lives, but then we were actually going to do a reunion show in what was the name? Partisan in 2015, was it? Yeah, but then suddenly the original drummer, Oscar, died very suddenly. So for obvious reasons, we couldn't do that reunion. But anyway, it was around that time, I think, where the thought came into our mind that we really should do something about this. And well, obviously it took some time, a lot of years, but now we're back.
So your albums were released on Invasion Records, a German label that's defunct since many years. Can you still remember how that initial contact happened?
The contact with Invasion, I think that the first album was released on Spinefarm Records, which was a Finnish label at the time, and I think that we signed for one record, and I think before that period of a contract ended out, I think that we were contacted by Maja from Invasion Records to sign a deal for 2 albums.
Yeah, I think that Oscar, the drummer, he had some connection with Invasion from another one of his bands. Was it The Flesh?
Yeah, The Flesh. They recorded or released albums on Invasion Records with The Flesh, so that's why Oscar knew about that label.
Yeah, I mean, Invasion Records back then, to me, as a teen or young adult, was always a good address for mail order, because they had a good selection of stuff that you could order from all over Europe and beyond. But they were also known for putting completely random cover artwork on albums. So for your albums, to what extent were you able to influence what would be the cover artwork in the end?
We didn't have anything to say. It was like they could send us, or Maja Majewski could send us like one idea of a cover, and we were like, yeah, but that looks okay, and we gave us the thumbs up. And then when the album came out in print, it was something totally different, because then we had checked like, we cannot use that for copyright infringement or whatever. So he changed it, but not telling us. So it was a surprise for us. It was not a fun surprise, to get the totally different artwork than the one we agreed on, but.
Yeah, but it makes for a story, for a good story now, like 27 years later or whatever it is. But yeah, but we were really pissed at the time. Yeah.
I think many bands were, right? Was that a label that would try to give you tour support in any way, or was it really just about releasing the albums?
It was more about releasing the music. Not he didn't have any, for us anyway, any inspirations of putting us out to do and play shows. And this is the first time we're actually playing in Germany, so it's going to be a really fun show to see the German fans tonight. Yeah,
It's historical. Yeah. So how did this happen here tonight? Were you just asked by Norbert, the organizer, to play here? Or?
Yeah, he contacted us. I don't remember when, but maybe half a year back or something like that. And we checked out the festival because we weren't familiar with it, but it looked like a really long-standing tradition. And we all know that German metal fans are some of the greatest fans in metal, really. So it was a no-brainer for us to accept. And really fun to come to Germany for the first time and play and get to do all the things that we never got to do back 25, 30 years ago or whatever it was.
So I saw that your albums are now re-released or being re-released through Century Media, right?
Yeah.
With different cover artwork.
Yeah.
So did you have any influence on cover artwork now?
Yeah, we actually had a guy. I don't remember the name of the guy, but he was a really cool artist, and he got like his hands free to do his interpretation of those 3 covers. But we wanted to do for obvious reasons because we didn't like the old ones, and now we had the chance. We liked the first one on the original, Our Blood Red Path, but we wanted to keep that kind of style of artwork for those 3 re-releases. So we were really happy that Century Media wanted to use. I think it was a Spanish artist, but I don't remember his name now. I'm sorry.
Juan Castellano or something like that. I'm really sorry if I messed that up. But
So the German fans have never seen you, and you have 3 albums to pick from. Obviously, the fans want to hear all 3 albums. So how do you pick the songs that you're going to play tonight? Are you fighting this out in the band in any way? Are you getting physical about this?
No, we're pretty chill about that actually, because me and Andreas and Michael, we were all on the first 2 records. I haven't played any songs from the third, but I'm sure we'll do it in the future and rehearse them as well. But most of all, we're going to release a new album as well, so I think pretty much the focus is going to be on getting that done in the studio.
I mean, now that you're touching on that topic, I mean, you're telling that since a couple of years now, right? Or since when are you planning to really release? I mean,
the time for release is set to January 2026. So in the beginning of next year there will be an album, because we have already 8 songs finished. So, and we're going to play 1 new song tonight from the upcoming album. So just to give the German fans some.
But it's not recorded yet, basically, right?
No, it's only like demo stages of the songs, but we have all the songs figured out, more or less like 90% or something like that. So we're just going to hammer it out in the rehearsals, and then we go into the studio to put the final take.
And on the business side, I mean, who's gonna release that?
Circle Music from Greece. Maria is a really talented record label. She orchestrates everything really good, and we always like because she has worked with a friend of mine, Pierre, with his band Shaitan as well, and we liked what she did for his music. So we're certain that she's going to do a good job for us as well.
Yep.
But were you approached by anyone else, or did you reach out in any way?
We spoke to a couple of labels, but the thing is that, we wanted to instead of being like a medium-sized band on like Nuclear Blast, for instance, they have their bigger bands that they push their energy, and that's understandable for us. But I'd rather be like a big priority on a smaller label that they're going to work for you and we're going to work for them and we do it together, But at a big label, some of the labels, when you write to them, they don't even write you back. It's not like it was in the 90s. In the 90s, you can pick up the phone and call the guy on the label and have that direct line. Now it's like you can send them an email and you don't know if you're going to get the reply anymore. So, it's not the same thing like it was in.
So regarding the new material, will it be still the same old school stuff, or have you changed in any way?
I think that a main focus for us is not to have changed so much that the fans would not recognize us. But it's getting a little bit difficult when you sit down, try to write new material, and try to have the first albums in focus and to try to do the same thing. But I mean, we as a group of friends, when we get together and sit down, everything comes naturally. So in a way, it sounds like maybe a more mature version of Gates of Ishtar 1995. But you can still hear that it's Gates of Ishtar, so it hasn't been it's not some other kind of music. Basically, it's in the same vein, melodic metal.
So you just mentioned you're a group of friends. Are you a different crowd than other guys that had bands in the 90s at the same time playing similar music in the same scene? Because when you look at other band biographies, like every band member usually had, I don't know, like 3 side projects and another band to play in and so on and so forth. And you had Gates of Ishtar, you did that, then it was over and that's it basically in a way, right?
Yeah, I did some music with the Duskfall, my other band, but now for me this is my main focus. For me it's so much fun, to go with my friends and go out, travel the world and play for a lot of fans. So that's the main thing. Because we don't do it for the money or it's for to meet the fans and play music. That's the fun part.
I'll edit that out, otherwise you won't get any any money for any of your gigs. Yeah. Okay. Anything you want to add?
No, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's great being here in Germany after all these years. And so far, the first thing that happened when we came here to the festival yesterday was meeting 2 guys with Gates of Ishtar t-shirts standing right there. So it was a very warm welcome. Yeah.
Very good, excellent. So the show is called What's Metal? So that's a question for you now. What is metal? Do you have a definition for that? What does it mean to you?
That's a good question. For me, metal is in the heart for me. It's not always about the appearance and the lifestyle, but it's in the heart, and I can feel it when I sit down and try to write music. It's always there, so it's basically a state of mind, I say.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything much more to add to that. It's hard defining, but like Andreas was saying there, I guess metal, but that goes for other types of music as well, I guess, but music that really comes from the heart and really moves you. And there's something really special about the metal community. You can't find a friendlier and more peaceful group of guys than going to metal festivals all over the world. And it's a brotherhood, and there's nothing else like it, really.
Yeah, if you want to know what metal is, then you have to go January 26th and check out the new album. I think it's going to be metal, for sure.
So the promo guy has spoken. Thanks a lot for your time, actually.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks a
So,
lot.